Yeah, don't it sound so epic? Horns are screaming, I ain't the one you wanna mess with. Use a joke, I ain't the one you wanna jest with. The cavalry bout to lock and load the weapons. Riot, riot, we came to riot. Revolution is coming, this the hour. Riot, riot, we came to riot. You hear the crowd, we coming for what's ours. Riot, riot, we came to riot.
The Marian University Knights are back in action today against Taylor University here in Crossroads League play on the ISC Sports Network. And it is once again time to hop aboard the Gus bus if you are a Marian University fan, because Gus Etchison has been worth more than the price of admission as of late. Bob, we are 3 days removed from him putting up 33 points and a half and 43 for the game in a victory against Spring Arbor.
So it would be an understatement to say he can score the ball. Don't you think?
Safe to say that.
And you know what? You can put one guy, two guys, you can, whatever you want. You can zone him, man him, double him, whatever you want to do. He's got the ball in his hands. He's a threat, and he's placed in the building. He plays hard, Greg. That's the thing I think I like most about him, is how hard he plays, how well he understands the game, and he can absolutely score the ball.
It is a Marian team that is 5-6 in league play. Taylor is 4-7. Only a game separate the two. Marian had their way with Taylor in Upland, 96-67, back on December the 2nd. I guarantee you that's been brought up by Josh Andrews and staff for Taylor as motivation for this one.
Well, it's a fight right now. It's a fight for positioning. You're literally fighting for your life in terms of postseason play. You're fighting for where you are seed-wise in Crossroads League competition, an opportunity to go to the NAI National Tournament. So to say these games are important would clearly be an understatement, because you're literally fighting for the reason why you exist, and that's to get in the championship.
Marian is currently tied for 5th with St. Francis at 5-6. Spring Arbor and Taylor are tied for 7th at 4-7. Mount Vernon Nazarene is 3-8. So between spots 5 and 9, 4 will make the tournament. 1 gets sent home. There's only a 2-game separation. Then there's a 2-game gap from Marian and St. Francis to Huntington and Bethel. And again, bigger picture, I think it's more along the lines of this. Marian has to find a way to get to Huntington to be a national tournament team this year.
I think you're probably right. Certainly there's enough basketball to be played that this could be different, but as it stands today, you have to begin to put yourself in tournament mode, Greg. You have to put yourself in single elimination mode. You got to win. Got to win to get in, got to win to stay in.
This Taylor team led by Caden Furman, junior from Liberty Township, Ohio, 15 points a contest. 36% from three-point range, but it's their post player that has my attention, Bob. Anton Wynn, second-year player in the program, transfer from Division II. Ashland, 13 points and 10.5 rebounds a contest. Let's turn it over to Mark Erdosi for the introduction of today's starting lineups.
Visiting from Upland, Indiana. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineups presented by Tom O'Brien, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, for this afternoon's contest. First, for the Trojans of Taylor University. At forward, number 1, Anton Webb. At guard, number 10, Jackson Lewis. At guard, number 13, Jackson Olam. At guard, number 15, Caden Furman. And at guard, number 23, Isaiah Day. Trojans head coach in his 11th season, Josh Andrews. Ladies and gentlemen, starting lineups for the Taylor University Trojans.
Jackson Olam mentioned that group, had a chance to play for his father as a student at Monroe Central High School. These days, his dad now at Muncie Central. Again, for Marian University, Gus Etchison is the star attraction, but far from the only one. Players like both Brody Whitaker as well as Maximus Gizzi having really good years, as more have been asked of them because of the departure of the 5-man senior class from a season ago. Whitaker also averaging over 20 points a game. Again, Mark Erdosi.
Hands together as we meet your Marian University Knights. At forward, a 6'3" redshirt sophomore from Johnstown, Ohio, number 44, Gavin Foe. At center, a 6'11" redshirt junior from Batavia, Ohio, number 14, Jackson A. At guard, a 5'11" junior from Cicero, Indiana, number 0, Gus Atchison. At guard, a 6'3" junior from Greencastle, Indiana, number 12, Brody Whitaker. Rounding out your night starting lineup is a 6'1" senior guard out of New Palestine, Indiana, wearing number 11, Maximus Gizzi. Your night's head coach in his 7th season, Scott Petty. Ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup for your Marian University Knights.
Good look at Scott Henning as the lights about to be kicked back on here inside of the PE Center. Our 3-man officiating crew, a great one. Chris Fuller, David Walker, and Kyle Long will have all the action in between the lines tonight. Bob, final thoughts before this one goes live?
Well, I think everyone understands what it's like when you're in conference play, Greg. Your play elevates, your intensity, the intensity of the game, the pace elevates too. You've got to match that intensity on both sides. Both teams fighting for positioning, and literally, there's a whole lot on the line other than just a conference matchup. There is so much at play in this game.
Jackson Ames is up at center for Marian. Anton Webb will have the honors for Taylor. Marian looking for the regular season sweep. We're glad you're spending part of your Saturday afternoon with us on the ISC Sports Network. Taylor will have the ball. Isaiah Day will track it down and hand the ball over to Jackson Lewis. 4 Ohio natives in the starting lineup for this Taylor team. Again, all on the lone Indiana player. Shot taken and missed and rebounded by Marian. It's a Marian team that is kind of unique in their roster construction. Several guards, a couple of bigs, and kind of nobody in between. So you see 4 players 6'3" or under on the floor with the 6'11" Ames. 6'10" Nolan Foster will come in and back him up.
See, now, the way the game's played nowadays, Greg, I'm not so sure that's a problem. I mean, you can space the court.
Whitaker has to pull, and that does not go, and you are correct in that assumption. It is a space and pace type of game. It's a Marian team that, again, because of their personnel, they've kind of joined that revolution this year as well.
Well, I think it gives you some flexibility in terms of what you can do defensively. You get more pressure on the basketball. Clearly, one of your situations is interior play defensively and on the glass.
Furman's 3 misses, and Whitaker the rebound.
But you can get out and create some things offensively in space. And Marian does have guys, their perimeter guys can all score now. That's the other thing about them.
Gavin Foe, the lone Ohio native on the floor for Marian. On the drive. Who touched it last? Taylor did. Shot clock at 13.
At this stage of the season, too, you know your opponents well. You understand what you're about. I hope you understand what you're about, but you don't. You just throw some tape on and you know exactly what your opponents are going to be doing.
Etchison for 3, not that time. Foe got a hand on it. Etchison on the season, 38% from three-point range. He's averaging 23 points a game. Whitaker just under 20. They are the only 2 double-digit per game scorers for the Knights. Two minutes in, yet to crack the scoring column. Here's Webb going to work. He'll fire from 18, missed that one. Women's game earlier, won by Marian, 86-51. But in that contest, Taylor led 25-20 at the end of the first quarter. Whitaker 3, no. Brody on the season just shy of 40% from three-point range.
We haven't seen the ball get inside much, Greg, on either end. Both teams settling for some jump shots to start with.
Well, Webb says, all right, good idea. I'll take it to the low block and score it. And a timeout taken by Scott Henning.
I think it's a quick timeout to get his guys settled in terms of what they're doing or not doing on the offensive end.
So Webb the bucket, native of Dayton, Ohio. 6'8" junior, 13 points and 10.5 rebounds a contest. Today's game presented in part by AAA Roofing. When it rains, it pours, so trust the pros at AAA Roofing. That's who we call. Special thanks to AAA Roofing for their support of Marian Athletics.
So you space people out, Greg. In theory, you space to give yourself an opportunity, find a lane, penetrate, pitch to the next guy. Hadn't necessarily worked that way for either team to this point. I think they'll still continue to do it, but think about it. Taylor gets it inside the post once and has a hoop.
Marian, 86 points per game is what they are averaging on the season. Knights 0 for their first 3. Taylor just made their 4th attempt of the game. Lewis draws the assignment on Etchison. Defies gravity in getting that pass away. Gizzy goes right at Webb and scores over him.
The whole thing is, again, space, penetrate, take it to the rim or pitch to the next guy. Gizzy taking it right to the rim.
It's been a good year for the Gizzy family.
Oh,
at
my
3
goodness.
different schools, 2 of them in the Crossroads League. Isabella, a freshman at St. Francis. Maximus having his best year at Marian. And his younger brother, Julius, is having a whale of a junior season at New Pal, averaging over 30 points per game. And Etchison, the first of likely many buckets today for the Knights.
Well, he's at his best when he's in some kind of transition, in some kind of space. So a little secondary break, get him the basketball for an easy hoop.
Day pulls and misses. Day, a freshman in the Cincinnati suburbs, Middletown, Ohio. And that is the background of the head coach and Josh Andrews. He's a former Ohio high school coach. That's a lot of those recruiting ties to Taylor.
Right.
Ames gets the rebound, puts it up and in.
Ames just runs the floor, Greg, sprints. Big guy gives you that effort. It's a put back the hard way.
Well, 6 unanswered points for Marian. This isolation for Webb and try to play off of him. Furman, 3, got it.
Nothing but. Both teams perimeter players. You got to get to them quickly if you can because they can all knock down shots.
Furman, a 36% three-point shooter. He's from the northern Cincy suburbs, Lakota East High School. First made 3 by either side today. Gizzy on the bounce, and he stepped on the sideline. First turnover for either team.
Yeah, didn't know where he was, didn't recognize how close he was to the sideline, and pays the price.
Double screen out top for Lewis going to work. You'll probably see a post touch about every time down for Taylor. They'll play through Webb. Ames holds his ground using that 3-inch advantage to make the stop.
Well, it's great, a great point. Holding his ground's a big key.
Etchison and late whistle. Love the sportsmanship by Webb. It goes over to help Etchison. And I think he got some ball, but got some body as well.
You see it right here. He does. He gets a lot of body. Gus gets to the rim so fast, Greg. I mean, he's there in a flash.
He is fearless in many senses,
Absolutely.
is Gus Etchison. We'll take this quick timeout of the media timeout. 2 free throws for Gus when we come back. Knights by 1 on ISC.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
So 6-5 is the score. Lead for Marian here in the early going of today's game. Greg Rakestraw, Bob Lovell with you. Gus Etchison will have a couple of free throws when we come back. Furman, the last bucket for Taylor, and this Taylor team is very much the modern basketball team. They make over 9 threes a game. Bob, the stat that jumps out to me, they're a 36% three-point shooting team, which is solid, but they're basically taking about 25 threes a game is what they're looking at in a 40-minute contest.
It is modern basketball, and it's, in terms of putting a program together, kids want to play that way. You can recruit to that system. That's number one. Number two, you do the math. If you're pretty proficient at it, if you shoot the ball well, which they do, obviously, you can be successful with it. And so it is a new day. in terms of how basketball is played at all levels, Greg, to be honest.
Atchison, a 76% free throw shooter. Marian, 78% from the line, and Gus got it to go. Transfer from Western Michigan, of course, played locally at Hamilton Heights High School. This Marian team with numerous Division I transfers on their roster. Foster, Ames, Etchison, Bryan all have spent time at the Division I level. And simply put, that's the level you have to recruit to be successful in this league at this point.
Well, there's no question. There's no question at all.
Here's Ullum. Whitaker holds his ground. Again, Ames kind of lurking in the background, and Webb missed it.
Ames looked like he was close to getting a piece of that ball.
Ames began his playing days Miami, Ohio. Gizzy, Whitaker, great steal by Ames to free him up, and he lays it up and in.
Well, I just love how the perimeter guys play off of one another, read and react, respond when they get the ball. Great penetration.
The 10-5 early advantage here for Marian. Both teams with a pair of substitutes waiting to check in when given the opportunity. The pull from 17 does not go. That's Day, and one thing you notice, Taylor is not exactly sending resources to crash the offensive glass. Lewis with the blocking foul.
Not sending resources. I like it. It's good. Yeah, I think one of the reasons why is it's a Marian team that loves to get out in conversion. Gizzy, Etchison can clearly hurt you in the open space. And so you got to decide, do we want to send that extra body to the glass, or do we want to make sure we have the basket protected at the other end?
Foster in for Ames. We'll say that throughout the course of the game. Those guys basically play about 20 minutes a night. They share the 5. Foster a bobble and just wasn't ready to catch it, the former Ohio Bobcat.
It's a great pass by Gus. I mean, it really was.
Other substitution is Josh Bryan, who has spent time at both UIndy and Ball State in his second year here at Marian for the former Delta Eagle. Caleb Hodson is in for Taylor. He's the backup post for the Trojans. Lewis a stumble, Hodson a recovery. He gets downhill and just kind of got lost in the wash that time. Pull-up 3 by Etchison. No, there's Foster on the crash.
Bigs run the floor now well for Marian, Greg. They really do. It's a perfect example. If Gus has the green light, you're just going to sprint and be ready to get a rebound.
Grant Niehaus is in, the former Washington Hatchet for Taylor. Lewis, there's Niehaus on the basket cut and scores it.
What's a great basket cut. Greg, you work hard, get rewarded for those kinds of things.
Niehaus, 6 points, 2.5 rebounds a game. He is a senior. Here for Taylor. Whitaker will pull from 19, and he got fouled.
First time I've had to wear you out on this today. Don't foul the jump shooter. First time.
And it's a staple of any Bob Level broadcast, by
serious.
the way.
Just drove me crazy. It drove me to radio. How's that?
Whitaker, an 83% free throw shooter. Now, the math is going to be more difficult to do for Brody going forward because literally before he took that shot, Bob, he was 83 of 100 on the season.
Oh, yikes. Now we're going to have to think.
All right.
He's close to 83. How's that?
I think
he's around 83%.
He's slightly above 83%.
Yeah. Just say he's around 83%. 83, 84%. How's that?
Ben Henderson checks in, freshman from Harrison High School.
Is he okay on the pace of this game? You like this pace?
It's up and good. Frankly, by Marian standards, it's a little bit slower than this year.
No, I understand.
And part of that's kind of how Taylor wants to play.
Well, but right now, the pace does favor Marian.
Wes Hunt is in there. Hodson fires a 3 that barely nicks the rim. You think that's out of kind of balance? It's not. He's a 50% three-point shooter.
Initially you look at it and you think it's a quick shot, but again, remember who it is and where.
Dansville, Michigan is where Hodson is from. 6'10", junior. Etchison. And Bryan, primarily a three-point shooter out there for Marian. Whitaker on the bounce, missed it.
Great on-ball pressure, really, really great pressure.
Furman flew in for the rebound. Hand off for three for Furman. Not that time, and Foster the uncontested glass. Henderson goes to work in the low block, off the window and scores it.
Just love how Henderson slows himself down, finds himself in the lane, takes some time, backs it in, muscles his way up.
Henderson, 4.5 points, 3.5 rebounds a game. Ullum pulls from 19. That is no good, and Brian the rebound. Marian a chance to make it a double-digit lead. Brian for three. Look out. If the first one goes,
wow.
Look out.
Wow.
Brian got it to go. Timeout taken by Taylor. It is a 30-second timeout. The Knights lead by a dozen. So Brian gets his first bucket of the game. Marian's lead now 19-7. That was the first make in 6 tries from three-point range for the Knights. Today's game presented in part by Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi is a proud partner of the Marian University Knights.
And I think Coach Andrews might be telling his kids, look, we don't have to take the first open opportunity. You know, shot fake, penetrate, kick it to somebody else. You're going to get that shot again. So you don't necessarily have to settle for that first one. That's hard to do. It's certainly easier said than done.
Dylan Moles is in there for the Knights. Freshman from Greenfield Central. His Cougars, the last remaining unbeaten team in Indiana high school boys basketball.
They're impressive, to say the least.
Braylon Mullins had 51 on the ISC Sports Network last Friday night, beating the Arabians Middle Heights in overtime. Good move by Hodson, and Foster did just enough to draw the foul.
Well, not coincidentally, Taylor comes out of the timeout and throws the ball to the post. I mean, you can just go back to earlier in the half, as I mentioned. You can't just, you want to shoot jump shots. But if you can get the same look with one more pass, 2 more dribbles or whatever, why not do it and get closer to the rim?
So Hodson to the free throw line, where he is a 69% shooter. He averages 10.5 points a game. Day will check back in for Taylor. Furman has a seat. Trojans have played 8 so far. That snaps a 12-0 scoring run for Marian. Etchison gets a breather for Marian. Two freshmen on the floor for the Knights in Moles and Henderson. Shot clock at 10. Foster gets a touch. Henderson will let it fire and scores it. Henderson, the freshman.
Great patience, Greg. Working off the post. Nice, easy look.
Played for Mark Reinhardt at Harrison High School. 36% three-point shooter. Hodson for 3, no. And the rebound corralled by Gizzy. Rebound advantage right now, 15-4 in favor of Marian.
In large part because Taylor hasn't shot the ball particularly well.
Brian for 3.
Brian, you called it. First one goes, look out. I mean, that is just a beautiful stroke.
Kids, look up the microwave Vinnie Johnson. That's the role that Brian kind of plays for this team. 3 from the wing does not go. Good weak side glass by Gizzy.
Out of bounds.
No, they're going to call, I think, a flop warning. They're
Really?
going to call Day on a flop warning, saying that he fell on the three-point shot when there was no contact. Yeah. So that'll lead us to the media timeout. All things heading in the right direction for the Knights. They lead by 16 here on the ISC Sports Network.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
So let's show you what that whistle was about that Day Yeah, a little bit of acting there. That was the right call that was made. And again, that was the wait until the ball is secured.
Right.
And once it's secured, then you draw the whistle in terms of the flap warning that was called against Day.
Pretty good call, really. I understand. I understand the attempt. I understand the officials are right there. Marian has come out now, Greg, and shot the ball well. Guys off the bench have given him a spark. I mean, great spark, great lift off the bench. When you bring guys off who can shoot it like that and come in and seamlessly adjust and continue to move the ball and defend at the level they're defending, your team's playing the way you want them to.
Marian 9 of 15 from the floor. Taylor just 3 of 17 and 1 of 8 from three-point range.
Well, the thing you have to think about when you're 3 of 17, you have to make some decisions. Do we want to continue to take those shots? Do we want to continue to play at the pace and the rhythm we're in? Or do you want to make an adjustment and, shot fake, penetrate, try and get to the rim, throw post, work off the post, or work inside out? You have to make decisions when you're at that particular situation.
So the flop violation was called.
Right.
Which, again, you saw in the replay. It was an accurate call.
Right.
So one free throw, and Gizzy misses it, which is rare. He's an 80% free throw shooter, and now Marian will have the basketball and bring it the length of the floor.
The officials like to say you adjudicate the infraction and then resume play.
Bryant.
Boom.
3. I'm not sure he's hit the rim yet.
Oh, he hasn't. He really hasn't. And he was so effortless. I mean, he just gets a little screen, a little step back, and the catch and shoot is pretty impressive.
He makes just under 3 threes a game. He's made his first 3 threes of this game. And the lead has grown for Marian with both Whitaker and Etchison getting a breather. Good recognition by Webb. Finally had to kick that ball to Hodgson for 3 and missed it. But again, Henderson doing about 5 inches on Webb and held his ground.
Knights are playing well defensively, Greg. Great pressure on the basketball has been their MO the entire day.
But this is also what you expect from a Scott-headed team.
No question. No question at all.
Gizzy. Shot clock at 12. Deeper for Brian.
Doesn't matter.
No problem.
Doesn't matter. Greg, guys stuck 4 in a row on you. You need to overplay. You need to get up on him a little bit more. You need higher hands.
Lead has grown to 22. Again, Marian beat Taylor by 29 when they played December the 2nd at Upland. Gizzy on the bounce, the reverse layup. No, but he got fouled as Day cleared him out. So Gizzy will have a chance to shoot 2.
You just love the bigs for Marian, Greg. They do the little things. They do the dirty work. I mean, they really do. They rebound, they defend, they work hard on the offensive rim. They do a great job of it.
Gizzy has always kind of played a secondary. He's gotten minutes ever since he got on campus, but usually was kind of the backup guard or the 8th or 9th guy in the rotation. Well, he has stepped up when given his opportunity this year. Max 9.5 points, 3 rebounds a game, 3.5 assists a game. Shooting over 50% from the field. Think about how difficult as a guard that is to do.
That is, and he's a tough-minded kid too. I mean, you talk about a perfect leader for you. Be that tough, can shoot it, can
Coach's
do everything.
kid.
Coach's kid.
Both mom and dad. He's a coach's
mom and
kid.
Dad. And the other thing too is, can you imagine the family games in the driveway? Oh my goodness!
And again, folks, you got to see his little brother at New Pal. He went from averaging 9 points a game to 30. Webb lays it up and in, and that snaps a lengthy scoreless drought as Marian rattled off 14 consecutive points.
Well, again, Taylor, taking the thing inside, not settling for jump shots.
Moles, good take by Dylan Moles. Moles, 5 points and 2 rebounds a game for the freshman.
I'm not sure Marian's going to miss, Greg, at the half court. It's one of those situations where they're certainly not going to miss unless Taylor ramps up their defensive effort.
Lewis, Day for a 3. That does not go. Taylor now 1 of 10 from 3-point range. Nice feed to Ames. Ames got it to go.
See, Ames, again, just does those little things. What a tremendous pass, though, from Etchison.
All Marian would be an understatement. Again, just 1 game separates these two in terms of the league record. Overall record's a bit different. Furman got it to go.
Well, Furman took his time, faced up, makes a great cut to get open, faced up, nice little fadeaway at the short corner.
Just the 5th made field goal from for Taylor, rather. Furman's got 2 of them. Whitaker lets a man fly by. Extra pass, Ames. Ames reverse layup, got it.
Shot fake sets it up, Greg. Shot fake, throw to the post, let him work.
6.6 rebounds a game for Jackson, and that player blows a tire, except on the baseline did Lewis. Lewis thought there was some contact there. Official says no. Moles will check back out as Gavin Foe returns. And it's a Marian team that made it through the non-conference schedule unbeaten, including winning a couple of games in Arizona right before Christmas. Etchison lost the handle, had his pocket picked. Gizzy hustles back. Gets the foul. And Gus will get a little bit of a talking to from Scott Heddy just off camera.
Yeah, I think it's just, hey, look, just stay in the game. You don't have to force things. Just keep moving. Just play without it. You don't have to beat everybody off the dribble. Just don't make it. You're trying to make it harder than what it really has to be.
And that's part of what makes this effort for Marian so impressive, is that there have been nights where you've almost like a starting pitcher, you hand the ball, say, go get him.
Right,
That's kind of been their offense some nights. He's got 4 points, they lead by 26.
Today, his teammates have played awfully well. And, Gus has a great basketball IQ. He understands it. You always try to tell kids, hey, just take what the game gives you. You'll find your way. It'll come to you. You don't have to force it.
Niehaus makes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Etchison guarded by the bigger Webb, went right at him and scored it. That's the matchup he wanted. Yep.
Well, just a nice steady hand from Coach Heddy. Just to say, you might want to rethink how you're doing it. And I think at certain spots, the bigs, the length has bothered Gus or some of the perimeter guys from Taylor.
Lewis for 3. That one spins out, and Whitaker able to save it. Etchison just weaving through traffic. Late decision to pass it. Ames, shot blocked by Webb.
I think he was better served. I love how he passed it, but probably better served to shoot it.
Trying to get it to Webb, and eventually he does. Furman steps into a 3. Just one of those days right now for Taylor.
Yeah, the right guys are shooting it in the right spots. It's just not going in for them right now.
Whitaker gets downhill. What a follow by Foe, just couldn't finish. Gizzy for 3, no.
It was right there for him, Greg. He just didn't get it.
Marian offense has gone a little cold, but you know what? If you're leading by 27, that's the time for that to happen. And if the other team can't make shots and you're not giving up rebounds, you're going to be okay. Taylor has 0 offensive rebounds in this game. Etchison, shot blocked. Webb got that one. Furman, and 1. And then Ames takes a tumble.
Almost takes out the official.
Yep. So an and 1 opportunity here for Taylor.
Furman does a great job collecting himself, decelerating, getting himself steady, and then taking it on the dribble to the rim.
That's a positive play for Taylor. They're going to need a whole lot more. Marian leads them by 25 in the first half here on the ISC Sports Network.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you. Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
All Marian so far in this one, 41-16 they lead. Tonight's game presented in part by our friends at BSN Sports. They are the preferred provider of apparel for Marian University Athletics. Thank you, BSN. In the story for the Knights, 15 of 26 from the floor, 41 points. 8 of 9 players that have played have scored, but their double-digit per game scores in Etchison and Whitaker have a combined 10. It's been the rest of the team that have stepped up to give Marian this 25-point lead.
Well, but, Gus and others have provided opportunities for their teammates, and I think the other part of it, too, is that they're not forcing anything. They're just in the flow. They're playing great defensively, getting some transition opportunities, some secondary break opportunities for them, and they've taken advantage of it, and they've shot the ball particularly well in this first half.
So an and one opportunity here coming for Furman. And he has been the one player that seemingly has found some level of range in this game today. He's got 7. Gavin Yoon is in for the first time, senior from Lawrenceburg High School. Free throw is good by Furman. Yoon will draw the defensive assignment on Etchison.
Sometimes games start out with this type of flow, Greg, and it's a hard pace to maintain. So I think both teams are settling into, a more manageable rhythm for them.
Isolation for Etchison, let him go to work. Leaves an open look by Henderson. Tip out by Whitaker. Henderson recovers. Etchison, not that time. And the rebound controlled by Niehaus. Trying to get this back in chunks if you're Taylor. Shot blocked by Whitaker.
Great defense. Seriously. Timed it just perfectly. Right idea. You see it right here. Driving baseline. Yeah, every bit of it.
For the former Greencastle Tiger Cub that makes the play for the Knights. All-time leading scorer in Greencastle High School history is Whitaker. Ullum for 3. Got that one. Needed it.
Nice simple little handoff. A little defensive lapse by Marian on that, Greg. Nobody followed on the pass.
42% three-point shooter is Jackson. Lead down to 21. Marian hasn't scored the last 3 minutes. Whitaker trying to fix that. Not that time. Hodson there for the block. Scott Hetty not happy about the lack of a foul call there.
Yeah, you see your guy go to the floor, you always want to argue about it. Plus, give Taylor credit. Now, defensively, they've ramped some things up. We get a better angle at it right here. That's all ball. Maybe some contact, the forearm shiver on the way to the rim, but.
Of note for Marian, Josh Bryan back in there. A perfect 4 of 4 from three-point range. Foul on the floor. Going to be called against Niehaus. Again, Niehaus was in the restricted area.
This is a great pass. So you just see the pass, perfect pass. And right there on the turn, restricted area plus you're right there, not allowing him to make a basketball move.
It was immediate
and it hurt
that he was not shooting the basketball. A lot of times you'll see that one be allowed to continue on. Bryan, because he had a mismatch with Ullum guarding him.
He can take you inside, knock down 3, do whatever he needs to.
The rare post move by Bryan. That was his 24th two-point attempt of the season. Ball knocked out of bounds by Marian. Ames in, Foster out.
So you're saying he's a specialist?
Saying he tends to live 21 feet from the rim, yes. But he also smart to realize I've got a 5-inch advantage on the guy guarding me. Let's go down to the low block.
That's not a bad place to live. Steps out of bounds.
Nope.
Oh.
Hold going to be called on Etchison. Team's 4th foul.
So you just can't give up fouls like that. You just You're working too hard to just get one of those simple little things.
Gizzy will come back in. Brian will have a seat. Furman over Ames. Tough shot.
Furman has been the bright spot right now for the Trojans. He's been controlled, knocked down opportunities when he's had them.
Well, obviously it has been a splendid half for Marian. You're trying to finish strong and not give Taylor any inkling of getting back in this one. 21-point lead. Good spin move by Gizzy. Hodson there waiting, blocked the shot, but Henderson on the drive, got it to go, but offensive foul is called.
Just an interesting exchange. Just some great defense going on. Really, really solid play. Let's see it here. We got one body on the floor, going, holds his position outside the arc. Good call.
I would say that was a late whistle, but the proper whistle.
I think it's a good call, it really is.
So a chance for Taylor to get this under 20.
You can tell that this is not a game for the faint of heart. There's going to be some contact, and you need to be ready to respond.
Flare for Ullum. He fires a three, missed that one. Etchison tips it away from Yoon. And obviously they're going to double Etchison at every opportunity, and he got fouled. 2 free throws coming up.
What you try to do on the double is you take away his opportunity to do this. Try to drive to the rim where he's pretty good at it. But you got to get to him quickly.
So Etchison to the line. 6 points so far for Gus. 2 of 7 from the floor. Make it 3 of 3 from the stripe. And Marian goes to Goshen on Wednesday. It has been a struggle for the Maple Leafs this year. They have yet to win a game. Not just in league play, but in total. Hodson saves it, but right to Etchison. Dishes to Henderson. Henderson's shot does not go. Fight for the loose ball. Henderson comes out of there with it. Henderson got hacked, and he'll shoot too.
Henderson is in a lot of the contact. He's right in the middle of the action. You see him. He's all over this possession. Rebound, doesn't get it, gets it off the floor, goes up, gets it blocked. Still battling. Man, oh man.
A little bit of a perspiration time.
He's coming out of it going, man, I need a breather here. I did a lot of work.
So as Henderson goes to the line, let's thank our friends at Indiana Members Credit Union, proud to support Marian University. They offer a free Marian Knights debit card. The card is included when you open a free IMCU checking account. Get your Marian University Knights debit card today and show your support. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online now at imcu.com. Henderson on the season does not get to the line very often. He's 12 of 19 from the stripe. Got that one to go. Little full court pickup here by Marian.
Trying to finish strongly, Greg. Maybe last possession of the half.
And that's going to be a blocking foul on Gizzy. 16 fouls, so no harm done for the Knights.
Well, it's great hustle. I mean, it's great work on the part of Maximus Grizzy. The coach in me says we don't need to foul a guy 40 feet from the hoop who can't score with his back turned.
Furman, the step back, tough shot.
He keeps doing it now. For him, that's not a tough shot. He just keeps doing it.
I don't think Whitaker could have guarded him any better.
No, he can't. But it's the beauty, Furman's, that's the kind of half he's had.
10-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Etchison plants, fires short. And it's been an off half for Gus, but yet the Knights lead by 22. Taylor can hold for one if they so choose. Marian will have the ball to start the second half if there's no jump ball in these final 15 seconds. Gizzy takes Furman. Furman stops, Steps back, misses. Hodson a foul. So not only an Ames slow to get up, and that will be free throws at the other end.
Yeah.
So a missed shot, and
Just
then
cleared
1 plus the bonus, 90 feet the other direction.
Cleared him out on the baseline, and you see it right here. Here it comes, right there. That's, they may want to review it. They may not, but you see it. Shoves him from behind.
Ames, an 80% shooter. Get 1 plus the bonus. Missed it. Live ball. Hodson. Look out. Misses it wide left. Well, Marian got up big early and has simply kept Taylor at bay since that time. Knights are going to make it a doubleheader sweep here at the PE Center today. 46-24 the score. Josh Bryan leads away with 14. Halftime show comes your next as you're watching Marian basketball on ISC.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
Well, Marian has a two-headed scoring punch in terms of Gus Etchison and Brody Whitaker this season. If you had told Scott Heddy those two guys would combine for 11 first-half points, I'm not sure he likes his chances.
Right.
Yet the Knights are up by 22. They jumped out to a sizable lead of well north of 20. Just have kind of kept Taylor at bay for the last 7 or 8 minutes or so. Greg Rakestraw, Bob Lovell with you here on the ISC Sports Network. It has been balanced today for Marian. They are 16 of 33 from the floor, 5 of 14 from three-point range. Again, they have owned the glass in a significant way. Bob, they have a plus 20 advantage on the rebounds. Again, most of those defensively. And simply put, Taylor has struggled from throwing it into the ocean from a boat. They are 9 of 32 from the floor. Overall, how you to sum up half number one?
Well, if you're Taylor, you have relied on the three, and it has not served you well. So you haven't shot the ball particularly well, which gives you opportunity for your opponent, for Marian, to get rebound opportunities. You also look at that stat where, Taylor at one point didn't have an offensive rebound in the first half, and so that stat, that adds up. That makes sense. I think when you go back to your original point of, Gus Etchison not scoring well, the balance was the key. Look, if you're Gus and teammates, you recognize if your teammates are in the flow, you want to keep that flow going. So you kind of put yourself in the background a little bit, continue to do what you're doing, and doing the things that got you that great lead and that great spurt. And I think that Coach Heddy's reminding everybody, hey, we don't need to rush shots, don't need to take quick shots. Let's just keep going. Let's get working on our defense. That'll allow us to get some great opportunities in the half court. You played a great half. You just got to come out and replicate it in the second half.
Furman with 12 points for Taylor, but their other leading scorer, Anton Webb, and he averages 13 points and 10.5 rebounds a game. Bob, 4 points and just 1 rebound for Webb in 11
Never
minutes.
really had a great look. I mean, Marian defended him well. Great on-ball pressure. Kind of stepped him out a little bit further than where he's used to. And, you have to recognize when you're in that situation, Greg, that's you. You got to start stepping up and getting more active, trying to play quicker without the basketball, give yourself opportunities to get better looks at the rim. And so credit a lot of that to the Marian defense.
Quick check of the Crossroads League standings going into today's games. Grace 11-0, Indiana Wesleyan 9-2, Bethel and Huntington both 7-4. Then comes Marian and St. Francis at 5-6. Spring Arbor and Taylor currently have the last 2 spots in the league tournament at 4-7. Mount Vernon Nazarene 3-8. For Goshen, it's probably unfortunately a march to last place as they are 0-11 in league play and 0-21 overall. And by the way, that's who Marian plays on Wednesday night up at the home of the Maple Leafs. Right now, it's all Marian. They lead Taylor 46-24. Stay tuned. First half highlights, first half scoring, and a recap of the women's game that was a record-setting performance for Marian in a win early this afternoon. That and more come your way next as you're watching Marian basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
This is the Pepsi for America's best barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
Marian University is like a home to me. Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marian's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you. Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Back inside the PE Center, Marian won the women's game by 35. They're leading the men's game by 22 over Taylor, score of 46-24. Let's show you our first half highlights. As we do that, let's update you on scores in the first half. Josh Bryan, 14 for Marian, 7 for Gus Etchison, 7 for Ben Henderson, 6 for Jackson Ames, 4 each for Gizzy and Whitaker, 2 each for Moles and Foster. Only Gavin Foe played but did not score. Foe did grab 5 rebounds. For Taylor, 12 for Furman, 4 for Webb, 3 for Ullum, 3 for Niehaus, and 2 for Hodson. That's it. Lewis, Day, Yoon, Hunt all played but did not score. Again, Marian 49% from the field, Taylor 28. Marian 5 of 14 from three-point range, Taylor 2 of 15. Trojans 4 of 5 from the line, Marian 9 of 12. As mentioned, plus 20 on the glass in favor of Marian. On the offensive glass, that number was 9-1. Second chance points, 8-3 in favor of Marian. Bench points, this might be the stat of the day. 25-5 in favor of Marian in terms of bench points in half number one. 9 assists on 16 field goals by Marian. 4 assists on 9 field goals for Taylor. Let's talk locker room messaging. If you're Scott Henny, what are you preaching to your guys at halftime?
Keep playing the way you're playing. You know, keep your foot on the gas pedal. To do a better job defensively, on ball, communicate better, close out shooters better, stay on the rim, get some things out, get in transition. Offensively, keep going where you are. Don't settle for that first jump shot. Try to penetrate. Try to work off throwing post, kick out, or dribbling in the post, kicking out to a spotted shooter. And just keep the pace you're playing and continue to play as hard as you're playing and do a great job now on both ends of the floor to get us into some transition easy.
You see Steve Brooks there on your screen. That's Marian women's team today. Job 86-51. They won earlier. They pitched a shutout in the second quarter. Taylor did not score for the entirety of the second quarter. And Ella Collier, 25 points. She becomes the program's all-time leading scorer in today's game.
Tremendous day to watch. How do you not like being a part of history? I mean, seriously. Doesn't matter what age group, it doesn't matter about any of that stuff. And Ella Collier, she's a classy young lady. She's a tremendous basketball player and a tremendous representative of Marian University. You know, you couldn't ask for a better teammate or a better representative of your program, and you're proud to be a part of that if you're a part of the Marian community, and you should be. 2,000 points is a lot of points, and I'll tell you what, it's led to a lot of wins for the Marian University women. It's not just 2,000 points isolated where she did it. She did it with the great help of teammates, and they, rightfully so, they love what she's done. They're a tough, they listen, this is a team that don't be surprised when they win the national championship.
Marian women are number 2 in the country, trailing only number 1 Dort of Iowa. They are now 21-1 on the season. They have won 19 consecutive games. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with second half action. Marian trying to make it a clean sweep of festivities inside of the PE Center today. They lead this one by 22. Second half next on ISC.
This is the Pepsi for America's best barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
Back inside the PE Center, let's thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Thanks to Rob Lynch, Eric Annette, Vince Morales, Jordan Shue, everybody involved with today's broadcast on ISC. We'll be back here on Friday afternoon. Yes, a rare Friday afternoon conference doubleheader. And the reason that is the case when Marian hosts Huntington next weekend is because Marian also sponsors wrestling as an intercollegiate sport, and they are hosting the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference Wrestling Championships. That will take place on Friday night and all day Saturday. We will have the championship bouts at 10 different weight classes from 125 through 285. That will take place next Saturday at 3 here on the ISC Sports. There'll be a free stream to watch on our social media channels, our website as well. Marian goes on the road to play Goshen. Of course, everything in Crossroads League play now are doubleheaders. So Marian goes to Goshen for men's and women's games on Wednesday night. Then has the quick turnaround for the Friday night or Friday afternoon doubleheader. And then they kind of get an extra day off that way before they didn't play on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, you can't enter a Valentine's Day.
Well, they're playing, so.
I'm just saying. But still, what a great way to spend Valentine's Day. Go to a game. I think it's fantastic.
We have 2 more basketball doubleheaders this year on ISC here in the PE Center. Next Friday afternoon against Huntington, and then the regular season finale against Indiana Wesleyan. And that women's game could easily be 17-0 in league play Marian and 16-1 in league play Indiana Wesleyan.
What's wrong with that? I think that's great.
And if Wesleyan wins that game and gets to 17-1, and both teams are 17-1, I'm kind of curious how you would break the tie between those two.
Well, I'm sure without looking at their tournament format and their handbook, is it a coin flip?
It could be. There's no permutations to break it.
Yeah, but most of the time conferences have some experience with this.
And at the Division I level, of which you ran a Division I basketball league, you kind of had this thing called RPI you could relate to.
We had like a 7-step process to determine tiebreaker. The easiest way to do it is go head-to-head, obviously, and then go common opponents.
Right, and then because if you're both 17-1 and you've lost to each other,
then your next thing is you go common opponents. So how did we do against School A? We beat them. They lost.
I'm saying they would all be the same.
Yeah. It's you know what? It's the other option, and we did it more than once when I was in the Horizon League. We went coin toss.
I was part of one at IUPUI where it came down to a coin toss.
It came down to a coin toss. And you can imagine this. I had a conference call to determine how we would have my hand to God. I can't make this up. Because everyone's driving me crazy going, so what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And you got to do this, you got to do that. I said, you know what? Get on the phone call with me. We'll figure it out.
It's not a coin toss when Gus Etchison gets downhill.
He's going to come out. And you know what? They've settled him down, and he's settled himself down. He had the great game last time out. He's trying to replicate that, and they just say, look, that game's in the books. Settle down, get into the flow, get into the rhythm of what we're doing.
Etchison 3 of 4 from the line in the first half. And connects.
I think I always used to tell guys like Gus that I was fortunate to have play for me. You're working too hard. This thing, you need to make this easy. You're working too hard. There's no need for you to work this hard. Just keep doing what you do.
Full court man pickup here. Good job by Ames to holler out the screen for Gizzy with Webb kind of lurking around there. Starting 5 back on the floor for each of these two teams. The slip to Webb, and that's going to be a blocking foul, again, just because Whitaker was inside the restricted area.
Right. Tell you what, though, Webb's got to get more engaged than he was. It was basically non-existent in that first half. And to Marian's credit, they did a nice job defending him. So he's got to get some of the ball screen action. He's got to play more without the basketball.
Webb connects in the line, 68%. Again, he played at a very high level of Division II. Ashland University is one of the great all-around athletic programs in D2. Misses the second one, does Webb. This is his second year at Taylor. Is it for Anton? Marian the ball in a 23-point lead. Little half-court trap. Whitaker on the drive, gets the friendly bounce.
Does get the friendly bounce. Earned that one. Earned it. Got the bump, played through it, got it up on the rim.
Whitaker just 1 of 6 in the first half. Now 2 of 7. Webb gets downhill and scores.
See what I mean, Greg? You got to take it on yourself to get yourself more engaged, more aggressive, get into the flow.
Taylor's got to get some stops to get back in this. Whitaker from the elbow. No.
Nice patient run at it. Just didn't go. Nice shot. Right guy at the right place.
That's what makes this Marian offense so tough to stop. They've got 3 guys that can create for themselves and anybody else on the floor.
Yeah, you're right.
Gizzy, Whitaker, and Etchison. Isolation for Furman.
And they're all willing passers, Greg.
Furman has had that shot down cold today.
I tell you what, you do whatever you're trying to do. The Knights, it's not going to work because he's in that kind of zone today.
Etchison
Speaking of zone.
Look out.
He's from a different zip code.
Once one goes, here comes the Avalanche. That was for somewhere on Township Line Road that he got that one to go. 24-point lead for Marian. Ullum looking to answer. He thought he had it. He was drifting back the other way. For the former Monroe Central Bear. Gizzy, the turnaround.
No, didn't stay down.
Deserved better than that.
Yeah, I think so. Didn't stay. Right there where he needed to be.
Webb spins. Ames holds his ground. Josh Andrews wanted a foul. Scott Eddy probably wanted to travel and literally made that motion as I said that. Pass tipped and taken away. 5th turnover by Marian, and 1 as Day got it to go.
Hard work now. Great hustle. Gets the steal.
So Day
will contact. I'm sorry.
Day will shoot 2. Averages 5 points a game.
Taylor's come out of the locker room, Greg, with a little spark. They're making a lot of things happen, playing better defensively, sharing the ball better ball movement, better people movement.
Missed free throw, though, by Taylor. They've left 2 points to the line here in the early part of the second half. Niehaus will check in for Day at the next stoppage in the action. Hedging off of every ball screen is Taylor. Whitaker, pretty move, left hand, yes sir.
What a great move.
Yeah, he
great move, and got the contact and slow to get up.
He's not getting up yet.
I think came down on his ankle, quite frankly.
Yeah, he's going to stay down. They're playing 5-on-4 as of now. Shot missed. Ball tipped out of bounds by Furman. Now, thankfully, Whitaker is back up, but he will walk himself straight to the bench. And again, he missed a couple of games earlier this year due to an injury.
Well, it's too bad because this is a great individual move that he makes, you know, and just goes up and finishes, and I think came down. He got bumped when he was on the shot, came down a little bit on his ankle. You'll see it here. Behind the back, there it is. The finish gets bumped. See him right there. I think he stepped up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's too bad.
Etchison, not that time. He's 3 of 10 today, is Gus. Furman over Gizzy.
Furman off the dribble now. Most of what we've seen has been the turnaround or you know, catch and shoot. Takes him off the bounce for the same result.
Brian in there for Marian. Ryan, 14 points, including 4 threes in the first half. Gizzy lines it up and knocks it down.
Well, penetration from Gus, passes it out to Maximus Gizzy, and you and I know he can knock that shot down all day.
Well, he is not a frequent three-point shooter, but he's solid, 36% from three-point range. Webb, blocking foul, and count the bucket.
Nice job by Webb to gather himself, expect the contact, get it, and play through it and get it on the rim.
So Foster and Moles will check in. Ames will check out, and Etchison will check out. So Webb to the free throw line. And just 4 points in the first half for Webb. Connects on this one. But again, Taylor is not in a position to be trading baskets, and so far it's what they've done in the second half. Whitaker back on the bench. Brian still hot.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Oh, man, oh, man.
And frankly, he's the X factor for Marian.
Well, there's no question.
You kind of know what to expect from Etchison and Whitaker at this point. If he gets it going, look out.
Was so effortless for him, just off the catch, and he's got a quick release, and I think unlimited range, quite frankly.
Ullum will pull from 15. Tough shot.
Nice off the dribble move.
So again, Taylor is finding their offensive form.
Right.
But again, it's the other end that right now is the problem for Taylor.
Well, I think the issue, too, was you found yourself down 20 in a hurry, and that's a big hole to climb out of when you're on the road against a pretty good team.
Foe, a rare jump shot for Gavin, but effective.
Just walks right into it. You know, that's that perfect shot where you step, catch, and shoot. That's just how you teach it.
Gavin, the Ohio native, plays his role and plays it very well for this team. Nice move.
Nice little scoop move. That's hard to defend, really is. Great move to the rim.
10 points per game for Jackson. Gizzy finds space. Gizzy missed it. Knew it as soon as it left his hand. Whitaker will check back in for Marian next stoppage in play. That's good to see. Moles now trying to check Furman. Lewis's runner, no.
Hard angle, Greg, just a hard angle.
Probably made a mistake not taking the three there.
Yeah, you're going away from the rim, and you can't get your shoulders squared enough to get it up there.
Foster not a threat from outside the arc. Foe just made one.
Yeah,
just made a second.
Why not? This is my spot right now. So don't run me off this spot. I'm good.
Again, he's an undersized 4, but again, plays his role to the hilt for the Knights. Henderson will check in next stoppage in play. Webb got it.
Great move inside. Great pass. He was a recipient of a really, really nice pass. You know, both right now, Greg, we're in a trade hoops scenario, which doesn't work for Taylor since they're down more than 20.
Gizzy pulls from 17. Yes, sir. Gizzy with 9.
Quite an offensive performance by Marian this afternoon, Greg. I mean, it really, really is.
And they put up 96 on Taylor when they played in December. Furman, no.
I'm actually surprised anybody's missed, to be honest. You get in that rhythm.
We have line changes awaiting to check in for each of these two teams.
Yeah, because the pace has been this quick. Great pass. Great pass out.
Foe got it. 6 quick points for Gavin Foe.
Can't get the line change in because no one's going to miss.
And Taylor
it's a good timeout.
Says enough is enough. They'll call the timeout.
It's a good timeout.
It'll be a full timeout. We'll step aside as well. Marian leading by 27. You're watching Crossroads League basketball on ISC.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
Colby Holmes is a gentleman that works for us frequently on the ISC Sports Network. He's part of a band that's called Status Foe. Well, the status of Gavin Foe right now is very good.
Like it.
For the Marian Knights as he has made his last 3 field goal attempts last few minutes.
I see what you did there. I like it.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
That's good stuff.
With that, let's recognize our friends at Tom O'Brien, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. If saving money is important to you, visit Tom O'Brien, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, a proud sponsor of Marian Athletics. Tom O'Brien is Indy's preferred Jeep dealer with 2 locations, the biggest Jeep inventory in Indiana. To show our support, Tom O'Brien will donate $200 to Marian for every car any student, parent, employer, friend of Marian buys when you mention this promo. Go Knights and go to Tom O'Brien to see how our family works for you since 1933.
Must be tough for you. All these things are coming through your mind and all that. You just how to filter it out and what to use and what not to use. All these ideas are just firing away. Can't be easy. So thank you on behalf of the audience.
Appreciate that.
All
thank
of
you.
that.
Yep. Game slows down for you eventually. Moles with the kick.
It's a great hoop reference. The game does slow down for you.
And that will lead us to another media timeout because, yes, we have played that long past our first scheduled
Yeah.
media timeout. Song remains the same, Knights by 27. We're back in just a moment on ISC.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
It is fair to say that Marian has had a maximized effort today. Maximus Gizzi has played awfully well for Marian.
No, he really has. I mean, he's done a lot of things. He shot the ball well. You see him. And the other thing about it, he's such an intense player. He plays hard. That rubs off on his teammates. He can handle it. He can pass it. He can score. He's also one of those guys, if you need somebody to get in your face, he'll step up and do it. That's why you got to have guys like him on your team.
Maximus, Isabella, and Julius, the Gizzi kids that play basketball.
They can all hoop.
Again, Max here at Marian. Izzy, a freshman at St. Francis, and Julius part of a ridiculously talented junior class in the state of Indiana. He was third in the state in scoring at last check. Furman got the foul, and
Yikes.
Again,
there's my guy now.
That was very Reggie Miller-esque. And again, I'm not criticizing the kid. He did a great job putting his leg out to draw the contact.
He just keeps hooping. That's the whole thing about him. He just, here, you see it right here. Yeah, he kind of helped himself. He really did. But I tell you right now, he's playing awfully, awfully well. He's been the one player, the one constant for the Trojans from the opening tip.
Furman now with 20. And he came in averaging 15 a game. He is Taylor's leading scorer. 3-year contributor here at Taylor. And trying to trap every ball screen. But that leads somebody to being open, and Ames fouled by Niehaus. Again, he was in the restricted area. So Ames will shoot two.
Well, Ames kind of screens and slips it, is patient, and gets rewarded for it.
Ames today was 6 points, 7 rebounds as well. Left that one short. Marian confident in his abilities to connect the line. They have backed all 4 players off the line. Knights have played 9. They have 11 in uniform for today's game. Ames connects. So the lead is 24 with 11 minutes to play. Hodson in there for Taylor. Yoon in there for Taylor as well. Furman sees Part, and he scores again.
He was patient. I mean, he really was. That's great play without the basketball, too. And he clearly, he's been able to score in a variety of ways this afternoon.
Etchison back on the floor for Marian. Moles. Henderson back out there, too. Etchison stepped through, lost the handle. 6th Marian turnover. Niehaus got it.
Furman passed up the 3, makes a nice pass, gives it to his teammate. A little spark right here, right now by the Trojans.
Can they get it under 20? Gizzi will check in next stoppage and play. There's kind of been a force field around that number here in the second half. And it's honestly been that way since about the 5-minute mark of the first half. And Ames, as cool as you like. Basic basketball.
Yep. Just kind of, like out in the driveway, kind of backed himself down in for the little baby.
That's father versus son. You can't do anything with it right there. The inadvertent pass to Hodson.
I was going to say, it was a great catch.
Well, they say the ball doesn't lie. There was a turnover waiting to happen, and it finally developed for Taylor. By the way, this is A remarkable stat in a game in which you're trailing by 20. That is the second turnover of the game by Taylor.
Right. That is amazing.
And still, Marian has a 22-point lead. Back after this on ISC.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
Today's game on the ISC Sports Network brought to us in part by First On Site, formerly More Restoration. They're here to help you power through whatever comes your way. From fire and flood to catastrophic storms or biohazards, they have the team, technology, and resources to help you restore, rebuild, and rise. Go at Knights. It has been a 20-point game for a large chunk of it. Marian leads it 72-50. They'll have the ball, and they'll bring it the length of the floor. Marian trying to level their league record at 6-6. They're trying to stay within striking range of both Bethel and Huntington. We're currently tied for third in the league at 7-4.
We talked about it, Greg, before the start of the game, how important the game was in terms of postseason play. You had to approach it like a playoff game.
Etchison, that's a basket. Yeah, that's a good basket. Noon,
Great
out of the
move.
net.
Right, this is a pretty good move. This may be one of Gus's best moves today.
So Etchison got it to go. Basket interference and the foul. So the basket interference on you, and then foul on Hodson.
Good move. You earned that one.
Etchison connects. It has been a pedestrian day so far for Gus. Just 13 points.
Yeah, just 13.
After he had 43 the last one.
I understand. Do you know what he does, though? His presence on the court.
Of course.
His teammates feed off of him. He's a willing passer, as you like to say.
Good slip to Webb. Extra pass, Niehaus blocked by Foe. Here, move it from the sidelines for Scott Hetty. Or Scott, the head coach of Carmel, before coming here. Etchison pulls from 20. Not that time. Speaking of his former team, Hounds have won 5 straight as Niehaus gets fouled by Foe.
And have beaten some really good teams.
And frankly, I think they're going to be in the top 10 in the state at 9-9 next week. It's rather
remarkable. Based on the people they've beaten, yeah, why not?
Well, they were 10th in the Sagarin ratings going into Thursday's game, where they beat a #1 team for the second game in a row.
Right.
And they will end up playing 13 of the other top 15 teams in the Sagarin rating at the end of the year. It's not bad.
I sent Coach Osborne a text, when they, like a couple weeks ago. Just the basic, hey, you're okay. Things will get better. Your kids are playing hard. Things will get better. And then I used the quote that my high school coach gave me when I went to college and things weren't going well. Tough times don't last, tough people do.
And your high school coach was?
Steve Newton.
Who went on to be the head coach at Murray State, amongst other places.
He was the coach when Murray pulled off the 15-2 upset in the NCAA tournament.
75-51. South Carolina for that, correct?
Yeah.
Then was in the administration at USI?
He was the AD at USI.
I didn't think I'd have the Steve Newton bio ready for today's broadcast, but here we are.
Hall of Famer at Indiana State. How's that? That locks it all up.
Gizzy misses. Ball tipped out of bounds by Ames.
Well, now is when you just, you find out what kind of team you are. You got to maintain your focus. You're up 24, under 9 minutes. Just got to keep plugging away. You got to keep playing hard. Both teams. Both teams have that same mentality. There's a lot of basketball to play. We got to continue to do what we're doing.
Webb, a little contact there, but Little contact allowed to happen in a 24-point game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great step through. I thought he made a great move, and I thought he was fouled, but, until they blow the whistle, that's not a foul.
Brian back in there for Marian. He's made 5 threes in limited minutes. And again, there's not an official minutes restriction, but they feel kind of health-wise he's best not playing 30 to 40 minutes.
I wouldn't argue with what the results are, to be honest.
Shot clock at 2. Whitaker had to pull, no problem.
Well, it's good to see him back after the ankle situation earlier. That was a big basket for him, big basket for the Knights.
Finish thought on Josh Bryan. He is Marion's leading scorer today. And Bob, he has played 12 minutes.
That's called efficiency, Greg. I think that's how you look at that.
Lewis for 3, got that one. Jackson Lewis.
Yeah, you're wondering where was that in the first half when those same shots didn't go.
Taylor now 4 of 19 from three-point range. Shot clock at 11. Gizzy steps into one, misses that one. Great rebound by Whitaker. 20 more seconds for Marian.
Whitaker's one of those guys, Greg, does a lot of little things. A lot of the little things you need to have done.
And it's always good when one of your best scorers does those things.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he really does.
And he draws a foul. And he'll shoot 2. And you and I were having as we often do, some basketball philosophical conversations during breaks, and a lot of times they'll spill over to the broadcast themselves. In a 30-second shot clock era, it's tough to run what folks would call a continuity offense.
Yeah, it's impossible.
But that's what Scott Heddy kind of wants his team to do now,
right.
Just shorten the game with a 23-point lead.
Well, what you're doing now is, you're recognizing that you're not putting restrictions on. We want to move the ball, move ourselves until we get inside 10 seconds on the clock. You don't want to, that's probably not a bad idea, but you don't want to restrict a team that plays with the flow, plays with an ease and a pace that they do. But you're telling your guys to recognize we want nothing but really, really good shots right now. And we all know, we've predetermined as a group what good shots are, and those are the things we want right now. And don't get quick. And I go back to this all the time. Don't settle for the first one. Make an extra pass, make an extra dribble. Take advantage of that better second one.
You may try to manage some minutes here, too, if you're Marian. You're now as Brian gets called for the foul, you're 2/3 away through the season. You're playing the worst team in the league in Goshen on Wednesday.
Right.
But you're on the road, and you're going to turn around in less than 40 hours and play Huntington. And so there may be, again, just trying to watch some minutes the rest of the way.
Well, that's a good point. And I think the other part of it, too, is the other side of that is we want to manage minutes, but we also want to maintain the flow and the rhythm that we're in.
Good job on the block out that time by Foe. Foe 6 points, 7 rebounds. Here's Dylan Moles. Dylan part of a team that won more than 20 games for Greenfield Central last year. Moles, the 3. No. Moles this year from three-point range, 40% again. Not a lot, but efficient when he takes them.
It's pretty good. I mean, yes, I'd take that, quite frankly.
Slip to Hunt, who scores. Wes Hunt, sophomore from the Peoria, Illinois area. It's his first field goal made and attempted of the game. He's played all of 4 minutes so far. Foe right down Meridian, missed it.
Just couldn't get it on the glass. You got it on the flange of the rim and wouldn't go.
Atchison will come back in next stoppage and play for the Knights. Good job by Foe. Fantastic.
Bodied up on him, stayed vertical, and forced him into a bad shot.
And he's really getting his first extended minutes of his career this year, and again, just does exactly what is asked of him. Moles will pull from 17. Pretty.
You're going to see that a lot in these next 3 years,
right,
quite frankly. But he can do it. He's capable of doing it anywhere on the court.
And again, this is a group that most of them are back next year because, again, the big class was last year for Marian. They knew they were going to have 5 departing seniors. Gizzy blows a tire, but Furman couldn't get that one to go. He's now 9 of 16 from the floor. And a timeout going to be called by Scott Heddy just to kind of get to the media timeout, which we will take with them as well. Outcome of this has been decided for some time. 3:40 left to play. Marian going to get to 6-6 in league action. They lead by 25 on ISC.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
The Marian Knights have avoided, I'll use a Bob Lovell word. He loves to use the word ubiquitous. Potholes have been ubiquitous in Marion County over the course of the last couple of weeks.
You know, I'm never downtown. I'm, literally, I try not to get out of Johnson County. But the trek up here was interesting with the potholes, no question.
I think that Pat Benatar once said that Love and Marion County roads are a battlefield.
They were.
Well, Marion has avoided the potholes here in half number 2. They have led by 20 the entire time, and it's a 25-point lead with 3:40 left to go.
Well, they've been impressive. I mean, that first half spurt was really, really impressive. And they've got guys who compete, guys who understand how to play, can shoot it. I love those kinds of guys.
And for those that are just kind of happen to be scanning by and watching today's game, Marion's the 5th-place team in the league. That's how good this league is.
Well,
Marion's the 5th-place team in the league.
I used to compete against these guys in this league. I understand that. And it's a great point, Greg. It does underscore how solid they are top to bottom. It's a team, I know it's an NAIA league. It can compete on the NCAA Division II level, quite frankly. You know that. And they're pretty good. You win this league, that's an accomplishment.
And Grace is the number 1 team in the country out of this league at 21-0. Off the hands of Hunt. He'll track it down. Pete Combs is in for the first time. Also, that shot was taken by a first-time participant in Carson Miller. Carson, a sophomore from Bremen, Indiana. And Combs is a freshman from Bloomfield, whose team made the regional final last year, got knocked off by the eventual state champs in Lutheran. Runner by Lewis is good.
You know what? When in doubt, just pull up off the runner and let it go.
Now, Coach Andrews is going to empty his bench a little bit here, get some guys some extra run. They're going to fall to 4-8 in league play, and Etchison a miss. And he picked a good day to have a bad day to Gus. And again, that's a really high bar. He's got 15 points. We say it's a bad day. He's got 15 points, 5 boards, and 3 assists. We say it's a bad day.
Right, and he would say the same thing.
Right.
I mean, coming off the 40-plus performance earlier in the week and the kind of competitor that he is. But frankly, he also looks at it and says, yeah, but we played well as a group and we won an important ball game.
Bench completely empty now for Taylor. John McLemore, sophomore from Heritage Christian, is in the contest. We'll get others on the fly. Ben Mickle is in there. He's from Oldham County, Kentucky. And Combs will shoot 2. And Grant Jones is in there as well, junior from Burris School in Muncie. So Combs to the free throw line. He is 3 of 6 there on the season, 2.5 points, 2 rebounds a game. And again, Marian doesn't have that many guys in which they can kind of empty the bench with. They have 11 in uniform today.
Right.
Rowan Farrell is in there, young man from McCutcheon High School that his playing times in his years here at Marian has been limited significantly due to injuries. Just happy that Rowan has stuck with it. This is the 5th game he has played all year.
Well, it needs to be applauded for that because that is not easy to do.
I would imagine Marian would like to get him a look if they can.
Oh, I think so.
He is 4 of 6 from the field this year. Instead, the young man from the other side of town from Harrison High School knocks it down as Henderson hits the three.
He's had a nice day, hasn't he? You know, catch and shoot's been his thing. That spot on the right wing, he's knocked down a couple.
Ball knocked away. It'll remain Taylor basketball. So Taylor now really is part of a three-way fight for the last two spots in terms of the league tournament, which means likely a visit to either Grace or Indiana Wesleyan. And Marian trying to at least get one home game here on February the 28th in the 4-5 game.
Yeah, that's what you're trying for. You want something at home if you can get it.
But to do that, they'll likely need to beat Huntington here next Friday afternoon. Bob and I have that one. There's Rowan Farrell that got the bucket. His 5th field goal this season.
Good for him. Bench erupts. Bench is excited about that hoop for him.
Deep three and
off the window.
I'm not sure he called it, but we'll take it. Carson Miller gets the bucket.
Off the window.
He's still smiling about it.
That's a tough angle. That's a tough angle, too, now.
Etchison in there just to run the point guard position. There's, again, trying to get Farrell a look. Misses it. Played for Tyler Shearer at McCutcheon High School. That should be a goal. Yep, Foster got off the back of the rim. That's a bucket for Mickle.
Great hustle, though.
Yep.
Give him credit for that.
Not a bad day for the Knights.
Not at
win
all.
By 35. And there's the conference standings.
Yeah.
And that's without any finals from today. The other games are going on simultaneously.
That's an important win for Marian, as we talked about. I mean, really, really important win. You got to stay in the hunt, so to speak.
You are really playing for an at-large berth in the tournament, is what you're doing if you're Marian.
Right.
And you probably have wiggle room for maybe one more loss of your last 6 games. Maybe one more than that.
Yeah, but you don't look at it that way. You got to be in a elimination mode the rest of the way out.
Yeah, that was a shot clock violation. Shot clock got turned off about 2 seconds early. So Taylor will have to go through the motions of inbounding the basketball, and then we can officially call this one done. Our officials calling it by the letter of the law to the end of the game. Chris Fuller works on Gary Hamilton's football crew. I would expect nothing less from Chris. And that's that. 86-64. Bob, your final thoughts on this one?
It was a great day for Marian. Women with a big win. Men come out, shoot the ball well to start. You know, the offensive onslaught was really terrific. No way Taylor could match it in that first half. And then the Knights just continue to play well throughout the day. They should be really happy with how it went.
It's great to spend the afternoon with you, my friend.
I appreciate it.
We'll do it on Friday.
I look forward to it.
That's the next time that Marian is here. They are on the road at Goshen on Wednesday. We're back together again on Friday afternoon for a 1 o'clock doubleheader between the Knights and the Foresters. But for now, goodbye from Marian. Knights win handily in both halves of a doubleheader. Thanks for joining us on ISC.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.